Hey, what's up guys? It's Ryan with LawnCrack, and today I have a seeding video for you. I don't have all the equipment I used to have, so today I'm just going to be doing it with the bare essentials. I have this tool right here, which is just a little garden tiller, hand garden tiller thing, and this thing does a really good job. This is one of the bare spots that I will be reseeding, and I'm going to show you what it's going to look like after I'm done using that tool on it. I'm gonna have it looking like that. That's gonna be nice and prepped, and that'll be a good prep job for the seed to germinate out of. So what you want to think about when you're seeding is, number one, the time of year. That is so important to be seeding at the proper time of the year. In my area, I'm in Cincinnati, actually in northern Kentucky, just below the river in Cincinnati, and we seed in the spring and the fall. Me personally, I highly encourage my customers to only seed in the fall. It is so much more beneficial as there's less weed competition. The climate's better for it, and then it also allows the root system to develop a larger root system by the time the next summer comes around. So, you know, potentially you have a drought next summer. If you seeded that spring, the root system's only going to get so big. But if you had started that seed in the fall, then it, you know, goes dormant over the winter, and then it has a head start growing in the spring, can get that root system developed before the drought hits. So number one, time of year. Number two, seed to soil contact. That's why you're going to use a machine like an aerator, a dethatcher, or a slice seeder to get the thatch out of your way, bust holes in the soil, break up the soil surface so the seed has something to germinate in. I'm going to be using a turf type tall fescue blend. Has 3 different varieties of turf type tall fescue grass seed in it, and that's just the most common turf around here. It does really well, so that's what I'm using. But so we have time of year, seed to soil contact, and then like ideally you're going to want a 1/4 inch of dirt on top of the grass seed. Obviously that's going to be very hard to like get exactly a 1/4 inch uniformly across all the seed you sow. So basically we're just going to try to get it just into the soil surface, and then I always like to just top dress with a little extra seed and let it just kind of work its way down into the soil, since we did prepare it properly and let the rain take it down in there. And then probably the most important thing with a seeding job, and this is the reason why I got out of seeding, was because watering is the most important thing. Like if the seed does not stay moist, it's gonna go bad. It can't get wet and then dry out, then get wet, then dry out, then get wet, then dry out. That's not gonna work. So that's the main reason why we stopped offering seeding services, is because we were having to redo a lot of them. And the main reason was our customers just simply were not watering the grass. And honestly, you have to baby new grass seed, young turf, at least the first 3 weeks. Ideally watering twice a day, in the morning and the evening. You want to keep it moist all day long. If possible, get out there in the heat of the day. If it's still hot, like right now, we're going to be up till 90 degrees today and tomorrow, and then a cold front comes in and we're going to have fall temperatures for the rest of the season. We'll be in the 70s, mid to high 70s, and going down until we get to winter, and we'll be freezing again. So once again, here's what it looks like right now of the area I'm going to concentrate on in this video. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle a light layer of seed over top of this, and then I'm going to work it in with my tiller tool. But one thing I did want to show you guys is the proper amount of seed to apply, because sometimes that's hard to determine. You know, the bag will tell you put 4 pounds per 1,000 square feet or whatever, but you're like, you know, how am I supposed to know what that is? And I mean, the way to know what that is to calibrate your machinery and mark off 1,000 square feet, put 4 pounds in your spreader, and adjust the settings in your walking speed to to put out 4 pounds per 1,000 square feet. It's really that simple, but I know a lot of guys don't want to take the time to do that, and I understand. But what I did want to show is what you can, once you do it enough, you can kind of get a visual on it to know if you're about right or not. So that's what I wanted to do real quick with this little demonstration. And like this right here, that is too much seed. You can't even see the soil below that seed. That's too much. So a more appropriate amount of seed would be something like that, where you can see the seed, you can see the soil. There's plenty of seed right there. I mean, if the seed germinates, the plant's going to mature, it's going to spread out, it's going to take up a little more ground space. If you're putting the seed down too heavy, what's going to happen is it's all going to attempt to germinate, and then it's going to start choking itself out, and that's not going to be good. So what I'll do is I'm gonna cut the camera off for 1 second, since I am by myself, but I'm gonna continue to put a light layer of seed over all this. I'm gonna work it in, and then I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll top dress it with a little more seed, and all that will be left after that is the watering portion. Okay, so I'm back. I just put the seed down, and then I ran the tool over it, worked it out. I spread it out a little bit. It was a little humped up. This was probably a mating chamber from the moles. That's when you see the humps from the moles. That's a mating chamber. You know, the tunnels are tunnels, and then you get the humps. That's where they bore down and they make their mating chamber. But so this is what we're looking at right now. I spread it out a little bit. Like I said, it was humped up. So at this point, all I need to do is sprinkle a little bit more seed over it. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, like I said, ideally you want a 1/4 inch on top. Since I'm just doing a handful of spots in my lawn, I'm gonna go ahead and rake this out a little bit and work the seed into the soil a little bit. But if this was a huge lawn, we're doing a 10,000 square foot lawn like this or something, and hitting all the little spots, I'm gonna put the seed on, work it in with the tool, sprinkle a little more seed on top, and then count on them watering to get the rest of that seed in there. But I hope you found some value in that. Just little seeding tips that I've learned over the years. Put down a lot of seed. I actually used to have Pennington make our very own grass seed. We called it Loyal Green Chemi seed because my company's Loyal Green, and we make compost tea that we spray on the lawns that we call a science. We got it down to a science, so we got our science compost tea. So I just named the grass seed Chemi seed, and yeah, it was pretty sweet. But we had to get on to the profitable services, and mowing and spraying lawns is where we found our sweet spot. So we dropped every other service we offered, and now we just make money, work less hours, have less overhead, less worries, less stress. Customers are happier. Can't recommend enough to niche down your service offering to what really works for your company. You don't have to be the one-stop shop. But hey, it's Ryan with LawnCrack. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on another video. See you.